Browserify continues to do what it's good at, which is compatibility with the Node.js ecosystem, and specifically NPM. So, I mean, back when Browserify started, there were a lot of other tools that kind of tried to do the same thing. But I think that long term, it's much more important to emphasize ecosystem compatibility rather than a bunch of features that people might need to build web apps of today that are needed by teams and enterprises and things that I don't care about. I mean, ES6 modules seem really complicated compared to other systems, but that's what the language people decided for us, so now we have to deal with that. I don't know if I'm going to use them anytime soon. I certainly won't use them before Node gets them in core. And even then, they're probably going to be way more hassle than just doing things the other way, but it's not like I oppose them. I just think that it doesn't matter, because we already have great tools for doing what we need to do, so like, what's the point?
In order to create well-built and usable experiences, we have to always think about the user experience while coding the apps and websites. So developers should always be aware that there's user experience behind their code, and they should think about that. For example, they should think about giving a pleasurable experience and reinforce trust to the user. And they should also make their app work offline. They should not make the user wait, for example. All of these are user experience practices to always think about and consider when they're coding.
And from a technical perspective, we need to make sure that users on websites don't wait a lot for loading. They're not waiting on a white screen. So we talk about all the modern practices in 2017 to make sure that users are not waiting on a white screen, for example. And it's also important for the app to be usable, or the web app, for us to make it work offline. Because most of our users are on mobile, so we have to optimize for mobile as well. And when they're on mobile, it means they don't always have internet connectivity. So we need to make sure it works online and it works also offline.
Sometimes it's a matter of priorities. Some companies don't know that by optimizing the images, they are going to get better conversion and users more happy using their services. So sometimes it's a matter of proving that, or at least giving the time to the developers so they can test it, they can experiment with it, and really prove that by spending some time on it, there will be some gain. It's not only about implementing features, it's also about making sure that the features that you have out there are working properly. And I think that sometimes we are missing having some time to work on that.
Su mayor desventaja a lo mejor es que es una librería pequeña y no incorpora todas las funcionalidades. Sí que es muy fácil extenderlas y utilizar las funcionalidades que tú quieras mediante middlewares, pero a lo mejor para un proyecto grande necesitas unas funcionalidades que de por sí la librería no te da. Creo que en realidad funciona bien en todo tipo de proyectos, depende de cómo lo integres en tu arquitectura. Es cierto que está muy relacionado con React y parece que solamente puede ser utilizado en proyectos con React, pero esto no es así, lo puedes utilizar con cualquier tipo de framework. Me atrae es que es muy simple. Simple no quiere decir que sea fácil o fácil de aprender, sino que es algo que una vez que lo lees puedes integrarlo de una manera muy sencilla a tu proyecto, porque los conceptos están muy claros y muy bien definidos, y eso me gusta mucho. Además, me ha ayudado mucho a programar en Elm, que es otro lenguaje del que de hecho Redux está basado en Elm, y me ha ayudado muchísimo haber tocado antes Redux para desarrollar ahora en Elm.
Muchas veces en el tema de IoT, en el campo de IoT, la gente da por supuesto que hay que trabajar con C++, y aquellos que sabemos JavaScript decimos, bueno, ¿y qué papel juega JavaScript en el IoT? Pues precisamente con la charla que he dado hoy, ¿vale? El proyecto que hemos ido enseñando, la demo que hemos hecho, mostramos algo que está hecho completamente en JavaScript, concretamente en Node.js, y está integrado precisamente con temas de IoT, con muchos dispositivos y demás, ¿vale? Lo bueno de Node es que hay una cantidad de módulos enorme disponibles que puedes utilizar en tu proyecto con IoT, ¿vale? En este caso hemos utilizado lo de Twitter, hemos utilizado uno para Cognitive Services y hemos utilizado alguno más para conectar por Bluetooth con una lámpara. Todo esto desde JavaScript. Entonces el papel de JavaScript es muy importante y no está solamente reservado el tema de IoT a lenguajes como C y C++. ¿De acuerdo?